Aloha, Richard Halverson here. This is ITS128, and today is March 9th, and we're on video number 11. And we're gonna, today I'm gonna start by going over at least a couple of labs at the end of chapter 5 from last week. All right, so let me share my screen. We're in chapter 5.18. It's this one, print string in reverse. Okay, let's see. All right, there's lots of ways we can do this one. Write a program that takes in a line of text as input and outputs a line of text in reverse. Okay, the program repeats, ending when the user types. Done. Oh, repeats, ending when. Okay, so this one, the user types this, and it outputs this. And the next one, the user types, and then the user types this, and it outputs this, and then the user types this, and your program recognizes that it's this D, and it ends. Okay, so first thing we got to do is, okay, I'm gonna do this in another little window here, and then I'm gonna run it here. Let me clear this so. Class. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to read in a string. So I'm going to do it this way. Input string equals input, and I'm going to say enter a, what am I entering? Enter a line of text. Enter a line of text. Now, when you are writing this program to put here, you don't want to have anything in here. Okay, you want it to be like that. But I'm doing it like that just because I'm going to run this program in my command prompt here, and I want to remember, see and remember what's going on. And if my program wants me to type something in, I'd like my program to say, hey, I want you to type this in, rather than I'm just guessing. Okay, so we get that, and then we're gonna do the string. So I'm gonna do something like the input string. .18. Print string in reverse. Okay. While input string is not equal to, what are all the things I got to be able to do? Oh, gee. Done, or D. Okay. Copy these, and I'm gonna just do a paste-o, and I'm gonna go if input string is not equal to done, and input string is not equal to little done, and okay, can't equal any of these. Okay, so it's not, as long as it's while the input string is not equal to this string and not equal to this string and not equal to this string, then do what you're going to do, and that is print the string out in reverse. And then so I'm going to put a comment here. print string in reverse. Okay, and I'm just going to leave that for the moment, and then I'm going to say input string, this thing right here, and I'm going to say enter another line of text, just so I can know what's going on. And really, you should have say D for done. D for done. Now, of course, when you're doing this stuff, you're not going to want to put anything inside here because, all right, so so that's my outer loop. And in my inner loop is just going to be, so I'm going to say print, okay, I'm going to do this. Reversed string equals, and for right now, I'm just going to put input string. But I'm going to process this, and then here I'm going to print reversed string. Okay, so I'm going to test this logic. Okay, so I'm going to save it, and I'm going to test the test the outer loop. And I'm going to do, so I got to get into my ITS128 folder on my desktop. And then I'm going to say, Python py test.py. That's my program here. If you look up here, it's on my desktop, ITS128 test.py. Did I do that right? Yeah. All right, enter, and ask me for a line of text, and I say, hello there, enter, and ask for another line of text, and I say, done, and it's done. Okay, so now all I got to do is get this right. Actually, I should test it, do more than once. First time, second time, okay, good, done, D. Okay, so now, so how do I get reversed string? Well, how about if we do a for loop? For have we learned C in character in input string? For each character in input string, I'm going to start out by setting reversed string equal to nothing. Reversed string equals nothing. Okay. Then I'm going to loop through all the characters in input string, and let me bring this up. Okay, so if I have a string, hello, and I want to, I'm gonna go through this. I'm doing for C in input string. So first C is gonna be H, and then C is gonna be E, and then C is gonna be L, then C is gonna be L, and then C is gonna be O. But what I want to do is I want to put reverse equals, and instead of tacking it on to the end, I want to tack it on to the beginning. So I'm going to do C plus reversed. Because normally if you were just to copy it over character by character, you'd stick it onto the end. But I want to stick it on the beginning. So the first time this runs, first loop, so this thing is going to loop for each C. So first time reversed is going to be equal to H, but then the next time it's going to be EH because it goes in front. Then the next time it's going to be LEH because it goes in front, LEH, and then O. See, so it's going to, so reversed string is going to be built up like that. So that's my strategy. And so I'm going to do, first I'm going to start with 0, and then I'm going to say reverse string. Let me put this up here. Reverse string equals character. Don't tell me. C plus reversed string. So that's going to stick C on the front of reverse string. Then I'm going to print it out. Okay, let's see what this does. Run. Hello world. Hello world. Well, look at that. All right, well, so that's how you do that problem. All right, now you got to take this, of course, and put it in here and make it run so it doesn't print out anything else. Okay. All righty, what's next? Oh, this one. All right, so with this one, you're going to normalize. Oh, wow. This adjustment, okay, when analyzing data sets, such data for human heights or for human weights, a common step is to adjust the data. This adjustment can be done by normalizing the values between 0 and 1 and throwing away the outliers. For this program, adjust the values by dividing all the values by the largest value. The input begins with an integer indicating the number of floating point values to follow. Okay, so it's not, we aren't going to use a sentinel. We're going to say how many we're going to enter in. So first you enter in how many you're going to enter in, and then after that you enter that many in, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're done. Okay. So that's what that is, and then you output it in. Then you output it this way, where you're going to compute this thing called your value, and then this is just going to print it out with 2 decimal points. So this is how it's supposed to output. All right, 5 indicates there will be 5 floating point values in the list, namely that, and the largest value, and 100 is the largest value in the list, so each value is divided by 100. Okay, all right, so the first thing it has to do is it goes through it goes through and it figures out what the largest value is. And then after that, it divides each one by the largest value. And then that's what it prints out. So here's how I'm going to do it. You know, before we leave, oh no, I'm going to do that at the end. Okay. All right. This so let's first we have to write a program to read that in. Okay. I'm gonna this is test.py. Okay, I'm gonna make a test.py. I'm test2.py because I think after I'm all done with this, I'm gonna go back and look at this one more time. So let me create a new, and I'm gonna save this one as test2.py. All right, and so here I'm gonna read something in, and all right. So first I'm gonna input num to read equals, I'm just going to say num equals input. Enter how many you are going to enter. There. Okay, and then you have, so it's going to be 5. So then you might say something like print enter num values one line at a time or something, whatever. And then I'm going to have a for loop. Why not? For n in range num. So that's going to go 0, 1, 2, whatever. Val equals input like this. I can just do it that way. And I guess I want that to be a number. So is it float? So I'm going to read in a floating point number. And oh, while I'm at it, I'm going to keep track of the max. Okay, max if n equals 1, I'm sorry, 0. In other words, if it's the first one, then set max equal to val. Otherwise, it's not equal to the first one. It's equal to something else, something bigger than the first one. Else, if val is, I want to keep track of the biggest one. So if this new val is bigger than max, then I want to set val. Then I want to set max equal to val. Otherwise, I want to leave it alone. Val. Okay, when this loop is over, I have the largest value. So I'm going to print that out. Print max. Okay, so let's test this. Save it. And let's run. Let's run test 2. How many are you going to enter? Let's do this right here, 5. I'm going to enter 5. On line 4, N. Int. I gotta int it sometimes, so I might as well int it here. How many am I going to enter? 5. Enter 5 values one line at a time. 30.0, 50.0, 10.0, 100.0, and 65.0. Oh, 100. Okay, so it printed out 100 because that's the biggest one. All right, well, that's fine. As we enter the numbers, we want to keep track of the largest one. And we also want to add those numbers to a list, because when we're all done entering them all in, we're going to want to go through the list again. And this time, before we print them out, we're going to divide them by that largest number. So, so let's create a list here, and I'm going to call it nums entered or some crazy thing. And that's going to be a list. And as I go through here, I am going to append this, the number that was read in, onto this list. So nums entered dot append, I think this is how I do it, val. All right, that's weird. The solution that they give me is wrong. All right, so so I've read in all the numbers and I've stored them in this list here, and here I'm printing out the max. Let me just go do this. Max number is this, and then I want to loop through this list for val in nums entered I think that's how you do it. Print I don't know. Am I looking at the right one here? I know what it is. I have my key is from the last. This is from my key. My key is from an older version of this book. So it's not 5.23. So I'm looking at the wrong thing here. But anyway, doesn't matter. So I'm going to print out nums entered. No, I'm going to print out val divided by max. How's that? Okay. All right, let's see what this looks like. And I guess I'm going to do 5 again. And I'm going to do 30, 50, 10, 100, 65. And what printed out was that. And of course, that's not how we want to print it out. We want to print it out like this. So I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to put it here. I'm going to put it right here. No, first I'm going to do your value equals val minus max, or divided by max. And then I'm going to do that. Your value. I don't need this. All right, so let me save this and run this again. And so now I can read 30. Oops. How do I exit this? Do I do Control C? Yeah. 5. So I'm going to divide it. So I'm going to do third. No, I'll just do 30, 30, 50, 10, 165, and of course it looks like that. All right, so I in this short class, 5.18, printing the string in reverse, and 5.23, which was normalizing these values. And so I hope that helped you, and thanks for watching.